do activity sheet number 5, writing activity. Write predictions about tomorrow's weather. This is our today's topic. Okay, class. So today we will do that. So let's start without wasting time because we always already have only 30 minutes for our lecture. So let's do. Okay, class. So this is our topic writing activity, write predictions about tomorrow's weather. So everyone tell me one by one to how's today's weather? Tell me all of you. How is today's weather?
Cloudy,
It's cloudy.
Rainy.
Okay. So what do you think what kind of weather would be tomorrow?
Hot.
Hot weather. Okay, so today we will learn how to write few lines about the prediction about weather. So let's research now. Predictions about tomorrow, tomorrow tomorrow's weather essay. So let's see what kind of videos we see. Weather essay. Okay, class. So let's watch this video.
Have you ever been in a situation where the weather forecast called for sunny skies, yet it ended up raining all day long? You think, oh, if I only had my umbrella. But you know, guys, the job of predicting weather accurately is a difficult one because our atmosphere, it's constantly changing. You see, in order to predict the weather accurately for the hours and days ahead, weather forecasters must analyze information they receive from a number of sources, including local weather observers, weather balloons, weather stations, and satellites. Speaking of satellites, NASA has a train of satellites called the
Okay, class. So sometimes it happens that whenever we go to a place and we don't understand like when the rain is going to be or how the weather is going to be. So we are not always prepared about the weather changings. So if we are successful to predict the weather, upcoming weather, then we can do some precautions also. For example, if our weather telecast or forecast tell us that tomorrow would be rainy, then we would be alarmed about that. Yes, tomorrow would be rainy, so we need to be very careful about that. So similarly, we have to understand how we can predict the weather.
afternoon constellation, nicknamed the A Train, which are orbiting the Earth, and they're collecting all sorts of data, including data that will help predict weather and climate change. Two additional satellites, CloudSat and Calypso, will soon be launched to be a part of that train. CloudSat will help improve weather prediction by studying the different aspects of clouds, as its name implies. Calypso will help predict climate change and how aerosols or particles affect the Earth's atmosphere. Later on in the program, Dr. Didier Tonray will tell us all about aerosols. But first, let's visit with Dr. Grant Stevens. He's the principal investigator on the CloudSat mission.
Thank you, Jennifer. We rely on accurate weather predictions for many activities. Farmers need to know the best times to plant and harvest their crops. Airplane takeoffs, landings and flight paths are scheduled according to local weather conditions. Weather forecasts alert people to severe storms that could endanger life or property. And most people want to know what the weather will be like as they go to and from work and school or plan outdoor activities. But do you think weather predictions or forecasts are always correct? What do you think causes errors in weather forecasts? You know, Jennifer is right when she stated that weather prediction is difficult. The atmosphere is constantly changing, and even though we receive...
Okay, so they are basically saying that atmosphere always changes, so we cannot do the accurate prediction. But we can guess how the weather would be according to present day, okay?
From a variety of sources such as weather stations, satellites, weather balloons, and ground-based observers, it is still impossible to predict the weather correctly 100% of the time. One of the ways of improving our prediction of weather and climate is to develop new technologies that helps us understand how the atmosphere works. A new satellite that will help improve weather prediction is NASA's CloudSat satellite. CloudSat will provide the first vertical cloud profiling from space, improving weather and climate forecasts. Before we continue with the specifics of the CloudSat mission, here are a few questions I would like you and your peers to discuss and answer. What is a cloud? What types of clouds exist? Which clouds make which weather? Why is it important to study clouds?
So the important questions about predicting the clouds are, what is a cloud? If we want to predict tomorrow's weather, then we need to understand what exactly the cloud is, because today is cloudy weather. So we need to understand that what is a cloud. What is a cloud? What types of clouds exist? Which cloud make which weather? We need to understand if these are white clouds, then will it be rain? Or if these are black clouds, or will it be thunderstorms? So we need to understand which clouds make which weather. Why is it important to study clouds? It's very important to study clouds.
The program. So how did you do with your questions? You know, clouds are all made of water. Sometimes they are made of tiny drops, far apart and held up by the wind. Other times they are made of big drops, held up for a while by very strong upward winds inside the cloud. In this kind of cloud, the drops become too heavy to stay up, so they fall to earth as rain, or if it's cold enough, they fall to earth as snow, hail or sleet. Clouds are classified based on three factors: their shape, the altitude at which they occur, and whether they are producing precipitation. Clouds come in three basic shapes: cumulus clouds, which are heaped and puffy; stratus clouds, which are layered; and cirrus clouds, which are wispy. Clouds also occur in three altitude ranges, specifically the altitude of the cloud base. High clouds, which occur above 6,000 meters and designated by cirrus or cirro, are cirrus, cirrocumulus, and cirrostratus. Middle clouds, which occur between 2,000 and 6,000 meters and are designated by alto, are altocumulus and altostratus. Low clouds, which occur below 2,000 meters, are stratus, nimbostratus, cumulus, stratocumulus, cumulonimbus, and fog. I bet you didn't think fog was a cloud. It's a cloud that touches the ground. Clouds that incorporate the word nimbus or the prefix nimbo are clouds from which precipitation is falling. Can you think of another type of cloud? I'll leave the answer to that question up to you. So how many of you are wondering how to keep all those clouds in order? You know, it's tough even for me. That's why I use this globe cloud chart as a reference. You'll learn more about globe later in the program. So why is it important to study clouds? Clouds exert enormous influence on our weather and climate. They are nature's way of moving fresh water from place to place on Earth. Clouds play a very important part in maintaining Earth's temperature. We need to understand how clouds reflect the sun's energy back into space or trap the Earth's energy in the atmosphere. We call this Earth's radiation budget. Using the CloudSat satellite for the very first time, we'll be able to measure the altitude and properties of clouds. The CloudSat radar will slice through the atmosphere, providing vertical cross-sectional view of clouds, and furnish new weather and climate data, including cloud layer thickness, cloud top and base altitude, and water and ice contents. Existing space-based systems only observe the uppermost layer of clouds and cannot reliably detect the presence of multiple cloud layers, nor determine the cloud water and ice content. The penetration of clouds
Okay, class, you are understanding how the weather forecast predict about
in existing and planned spaceborne observational systems. With this new technology, clouds that will improve weather predictions, increasing the accuracy of severe weather, hurricanes, and flood warnings. And now, Jennifer, I think the students are ready to size up the clouds. Back to you.
Okay, class. So now everyone are going to tell me okay, everyone. Now everyone will speak 3 to 4 lines about how you will predict your future weather. Okay, class, tell me now, one by one. Yes, class. Tell me how we can predict our weather, tomorrow's weather. कल का हम weather कैसे predict कर सकते हैं? Tell me, everyone. Fatima, you start speaking. Anyone who would like to speak about weather? Quickly, everyone. No one wants to speak?
No.
Why? You have to write the essay. आपने essay लिखना है. You have to write few lines about how to predict कि आप कैसे आपको पता चलेगा कि कल का weather कैसे होगा. For example, I would tell you that today is very windy and very cloudy. So we believe that tomorrow would be cloudy too, right? हमें लग रहा है कि कल भी cloudy होगा because आज भी cloudy weather है. What do you think, everyone? टेल मी कि कल का वेदर आपको कैसे लग रहा है कि कैसे होगा कल का वेदर?
Sunny.
Will it be hot? Will it be cloudy? Okay, Fatma's mic is not working. Anyone else? Mutiba, you tell.
Today is cloudy and tomorrow is also cloudy.
Okay, why tomorrow would be cloudy? कल cloudy क्यों होगा? What do you think?
Because today is cloudy.
And anything else that you think that this weather can be? Okay, class, we will watch one more video and then our class will be over and I will send you. Today's cloudy weather, so let's see about what clouds do.
I am Agent Stepmother, head of the Secret Magic Control Agency.
People have been looking at clouds since people have been people. Those billowing shapes might have been our first art or the characters in our first stories. And we still love to pick out shapes like bears, fish, flying saucers, faces, elephants. Some clouds even black blue sky like airplanes. Which is weird because clouds are full of so much water that they can easily weigh as much as a jumbo jet. So why don't they fall out of the sky? There's lots of different kinds of clouds, but in the most general weathery terms, clouds are big fluffy piles of water vapor that they head. As warm, humid air rises through the lower atmosphere, it expands, cools, and some of it condenses into very tiny liquid droplets. So a cloud is born. Just how that water vapor arises, though, depends on the type of cloud. If the wind pushes it up a mountain on a ski jump, we might get a particular cloud. Humid jet engine exhaust and make cloud. But maybe the easiest cloud to understand is everyone's favorite fluff ball, cumulus. But also the easiest function. So how do you keep the weight of 100 elephants in the air? Buoyancy. Warm air is less dense, so it rises, just like inside of a lava lamp. Cumulus clouds appear over dark pavement, fires, sunny hillsides, any source of warm updrafts. As the water vapor in that air is carried up, it cools until its molecules slow down and some of them stick together, forming droplets that we can see. We still have an unanswered question, though. After the wind carries them away from the warm updraft, why don't clouds fall back down? You know when sweat evaporates off your forehead? That's because water moving from liquid to gas takes so much fluid. Condensation is just the opposite. It releases. So as the water in a cloud condenses, it heats itself from the inside, staying aloft like a hot air balloon. Da Vinci called them bodies without surface, which is why we can't live.
Okay, class, are you understanding?
Lieutenant Colonel William Rankin did just that, accidentally. As he was piloting his fighter jet over the top of a massive cumulonimbus cloud, the engine caught on fire. He ejected and fell from 47,000 feet straight into a 9-mile tower of lightning, thunder, ice, rain, carried up on 70-mile-per-hour updrafts, barely conscious. He suffered from frostbite, bloodied by the pressure change, bruised by hail, and drowned by rain. What should have been a 10-minute parachute ride down to the ground instead took him 40 minutes. Definitely not on cloud. He was in it. In the 1896 edition of the International Cloud Atlas, cumulonimbus, the world's tallest and most powerful cloud, was placed at the end.
So this cloud is the powerful cloud.
Only living things in scientists found that living airborne bacteria make up as much as 20% of cloud condensation. Not only are they home to airborne ecosystems, clouds are in some ways very much alive and evolving themselves. Just take a few minutes and stare up at a fluffy cumulus as its edges billow and die. The rain that falls from them will one day rise to become new clouds. It's very circle of life. It might be because they're so alive that their names sound like biological species. Cirrocumulus stratiformis, Cumulonimbus capillatus
If it's slow and vibrant,
Those sound like Harry Potter spells. Undulatus asperatus. The greatest cloud photo of all time wasn't taken looking up at the cloud, but looking down.
Okay, class. So this is how the clouds are made up of. So any questions that you want to ask about, I will share you. I will send you the essay. You will write it on your notebooks. Okay, no, on your activity folders. मैं आपको शेयर करूंगी ऐसे और आपने क्या करना है आपने उसके अंदर लिख लेना है अपने नोट एक्टिविटी फोल्डर में. Okay, everyone, any questions? Any questions you want to ask?
no teacher.
Okay, class. So I'll see you next time. Take care.